me record this. By default, in Power BI, the visuals are interactive by nature. Okay, for example, if I select any specific slice here in the technology, if I click on it, all the other visuals get filtered automatically related to the technology related data, right? So the technology related data got filtered across the visuals. But here, if you notice one thing very clearly, when I selected this specific slice in this visual, all the other visuals, the values related to technology category got highlighted. Okay, in this case, what happens is the relevant values are highlighted across the visuals. The non-relevant values are still retained, but it got dimmed. Look here, this one got dimmed, this one got dimmed. Look here, these things are dimmed here. So this is called your cross highlighting. Cross highlighting. If I select this one, all of it. For example, instead of using the pie chart, I'm going to use a table visual or the matrix visual. Now, if I make a selection of the technology slice, you can see the technology got highlighted here. But whereas in the case of table visual, it did the cross filtering. What is cross filtering? Display only the values that are relevant to technology category. So for example, to cross verify that, I will put the category also as part of this matrix. If I click on technology, only the, if you see here, only the technology related data got filtered here. The non-relevant categories like furniture and office supplies not retained here. You need to notice this. But when it comes to the column chart and other pie chart and all, what happens is it is retaining non-relevant and relevant items also, but the non-relevant items will get dimmed, the relevant items will get highlighted. So here the blue color, the green color, right? This one got highlighted. The non-relevant items, look at this is the non-relevant items, the dimmed part. The cross highlighting works with the column chart and specific visuals, not with the matrix or table visual. In the case of matrix or table visual, it does the cross filtering instead of doing the cross highlighting. What is cross filtering? Display only the relevant items. Display the values that are relevant to technology in this visual. Don't retain the non-relevant categories. Got it? This is called your cross highlighting. So now the question is then, so only for the table visual, it does the cross filtering. I don't want to keep non-relevant and relevant items together in my visual. Sometimes it is confusing. Is there any way I can view only the relevant items in all the visuals? How we can do that? Simply slicer. For example, 2014, if you select only 2014. And here, if I go and remove this, instead, if I put category here, if I want to view only the technology, all the visuals will display, all the visuals get cross filtered with category. Similarly, filter. When you use a filter pane, and if you apply any filter, what happens is it does the cross filter, not the cross highlighting. So slicer with slicer, slices, it does the cross filtering. It means it displays only the relevant values across all the visuals in your report page, single page. Whereas cross highlighting, it cross highlights all the visuals with the relevant, both the relevant and non-relevant items, but it cross highlights only the relevant items across the visuals, but it retains the non-relevant items as well. But there is an exception when it comes to table or matrix visual. In the case of table or matrix visual, it displays only the relevant items. It is not retaining the non-relevant items. So now we understood what is cross highlighting. So what happens is, since by default, all the visuals are interactive. See, I did not use the slicer at all. I just simply clicked on it. If I click anything, any slice here, automatically all the other visuals except the slicer, right? All the other visuals gets cross-highlighted or cross-filtered. By default, the visuals, I did not even use slicer. With this, we are able to understand the visuals are by default interactive. Okay, if the values are, let's say in my report page, I have 5 or 6 visuals are there. Okay, 5 or 6 visuals are there. And each visuals, the data are, if you see the volume of the data, it's all in terms of millions and millions of records are there. If you enable the default behavior, what is the default behavior? By default, all the visuals are interactive by nature. Even if you select, the specific thing here, right? For example, if you click on technology, this one got highlighted here. And 1 second, let me just, if I select technology here, so what happened here? It is not doing the correct thing here, right? There is some issue here with the data. 1 second. Ideally, the technology should be like this. So there is something data entry here. Let us select the consumer segment. Yeah. So here also you can do the cross filtering, cross highlighting. If I select any value in my table, it gets highlighted. Rest of the values got non-highlighted or dim, and the other visuals also got cross highlighted by retaining both relevant and non-relevant items. Relevant items got highlighted, non-relevant items got dim. So the rest of them, see, look here, the other categories except consumer segment. Consumer segment, see this one is my sales categories, technology. So, okay, consumer segment related thing only got highlighted in these 3 categories. Table which also you can do cross highlighting. But the thing is, if I select any specific values in the table, it is getting cross highlighted, and other visual also cross highlighted. But when it comes to the column chart, when I select any specific slice, it does the cross filtering to the table visual. It is not doing the cross highlighting for the table visual. But for other type of visual, here it does the cross highlighting. Here it is not doing it. This is the one you need to remember it. Now the question is, the volume of the, if I select any one of them by mistake, and what happens is each and every visuals, if you see under the hood, the volume of the data are very, very huge. Since these visuals are interactive by nature, what happens is each and every visual, if it starts interacting with every other visual, what will happen is it will cause major performance issue. Okay, I don't want all the visuals to be interactive. For example, for this visual at any given point in time, I wanted to see the sales by country. Sales by country. I don't want this, or profit by country. I don't want this visual to get disturbed. Okay, even if I select any of this one, or if I apply any filter via this slicer, it should not get disturbed. So what we will do is, we will restrict the interactions between the visuals. By restrict the interactions between the visuals, we can make sure that we are not causing any performance related issues. Okay, we can try to reduce the interactions so that it will not have any impact on the performance. For example, here, what I want to do here is, not in the view. For example, I just select this visual, and then if I go to the modeling here, the modeling, not the modeling tab, in the format tab. Okay, format tab, you will find something called edit interactions. When you click on it, what will happen is, look here, I just click on it one more time. And if you see if you observe on top of all these visuals here, when I click on this, what happens? Look here, these 2 icons got included when I clicked on this. When I enable the edit interactions, these 2 icons got enabled. But when it comes to the other charts, for example, if I select this visual, on top of this visual, the pie chart and the column chart, 3 icons are there. With these icons, we can restrict the interactions between the visuals. For example, what I'll do is I just select this visual. Now what I do is I click on none. Don't, these two visuals should not interact. When I select anything here, this one should not get interacted. Okay, fine. I just did this. And if I select something here, it is not getting cross filtered. 3 icons are there for specific visuals, like the column chart and pie chart. For the table visual and slices, only 2 icons will be there. So with this, I restricted the interaction between these two visuals. Okay, and also if you look at the other 2 icons here, this one is cross highlighting, this is your cross filtering. This one is your cross filtering. Okay, so you can enable cross filtering. For example, if I select 2014, it is getting cross filtered. It is getting cross filtered. So what I will do is I selected this visual. I'm going to click on none. In this case, even though you select any other filter, if you try to apply any other filter, 2011 or anything, it is not getting disturbed. All the other visuals except this visual got filtered. With edit interaction, you can apply filter on a specific visual. Got it? So earlier we saw that using filter pane, we can apply a filter on a specific visual or only one visual. But with edit interaction, what you can do is you can restrict or you can apply a filter on a specific visuals. Because I don't want this one to be disturbed. If it remains constant, I can, it will help me to compare with other things here. Okay. But actually, in this case, it depends on the requirement. Okay, the user want this one to be remain constant. Okay, they wanted to see the performance, or if they use some line chart. Okay, United States is going down, right? So they don't want this one to be disturbed. Okay, fine. So if I select technology, it is not getting cross highlight. It is not getting disturbed at any point. This remains constant. Okay. So in that kind, in this case, there are no interactions between these two visuals. Let's say in this visual, the data comes from the underlying data sets with the volume of let's say 5 million or 10 million or 25 million. It is not getting disturbed as and when you make any changes. It doesn't require populating the data or refreshing this visual every now and then based on the selection that you make it here. Okay, and similarly, what I do is I just select this one. I just make it as a column chart here. You have drill down, drill up option is available here because we have 2 dimensions are there in the x-axis, the segment and category. What I will do is I will just move this up. Fine. If I do the cross filtering, cross highlighting works. But if I select anything here, I don't want the cross highlighting should happen. Instead, cross filter should happen. We have overridden the default behavior. I selected this icon here. And if I select the furniture, it shows only the relevant items. It shows only the relevant items. Now I'm going to select this visual. If I select anything here, it should do the cross highlighting with this visual. So in that case, you can select this one, cross highlight. I enable this one. Sorry, cross highlight, I enabled it. And if I select office supplies got highlighted. And the office supplies in this visual got highlighted. So the cross highlighting is happening between these two visual. But when I unselect this one, if I select any of the visual here, though I say I cross highlighted, it is doing the cross filtering with the other visual. So now you understood what is cross highlighting, what is cross filtering, how you can change the default behavior with edit interaction. Now you understood. Okay, with these three icons, you can enable either the cross highlighting or cross filtering, or you can disable the interactions between the visuals. Okay, this concludes the edit interactions part. With this, make sure this is one of the best practices. Make sure that all the visuals are not interactive. So only if it is necessary, you can enable the interactions between the specific visuals with edit interactions so that you can improve your performance also. Okay.